Okay, so what we do know is that there are, according to the PRA, there are about 100 sites closed temporarily at the moment due to safety issues or staff issues where they're unable to man those sites continuously. But that's just over 1% of UK sites, so it's not a huge number in the overall scheme of things, and they tend to be the smaller sites in rural areas. As far as usage levels are concerned, again, according to the PRA, they did a snapshot survey last week and told us that fuel demand on any one particular day last week was down by around 59%. But on the flip side, shop sales were up. So again, it's a mixed picture for the fuel retailers themselves. And how are they being supplied? Well, it's really business as usual. Actually, we are aware that the terminals that supply the fuel to these sites are fully stocked. There is no stresses as far as getting that product out to the sites are concerned. The tank levels underground at these sites are probably about 10% higher than normal. Again, that's according to the PRA. So if the question is there a shortage of fuel? There certainly isn't. Obviously, with demand down, there's more fuel in the tanks, and therefore there should be no problem as far as sourcing fuel for fleets is concerned. There's a variety of things that the sites are doing, some extreme, some less so. One thing they're all doing is implementing, in the same way that the supermarkets are, social distancing measures. So many of them are marking out the floor with their 2-metre sections to ensure that people do stay at least 2 metres apart when they're shopping in the forecourt shops themselves. Some are actually implementing early closing, so where they would normally open till maybe 10 o'clock at night or even 24-hour, we're seeing sites close the doors at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the evening, and that's just purely in response to lower demand, particularly late at night. There's a few things here. One is that clearly the network need to be there, particularly for the emergency services. Today, clearly that's where the focus is in terms of the fight against coronavirus, and therefore the emergency services need to have access to fuel. They need to be able to do that in an unimpeded way, and they fortunately they are able to use their cards at all those sites completely unimpeded and without any change to the service they usually get from either us or from the sites concerned. And I think the other thing is that the network is perhaps being seen as an important public service. So clearly, we've got the social care system, we have hospitals and so on, but in a way, the fuel retailers and what they're providing is just as important a public service to all customers, whether they be consumers or fleets. And that's not just for fuel, but also for top-up shopping as well. The one big change that we've seen in the last 20 years is that the fuel retailers have now become very sophisticated convenience retailers. And therefore, where there have been issues with stock outs at major supermarkets, it's been the small convenience stores that have stepped in and helped both businesses and consumers to get the products they need. And even that is a benefit in the sense that they tend to be more local to where those businesses and customers are, and that helps to reduce travel times and distances needed to get these goods. For us, it's business as usual. We are still able to take incoming calls from sites to where they have card queries, if they have cards that don't work, or there's an issue with the card not functioning correctly, and so on. We provide that level of support to the network, and we're still able to do that today, albeit from our network teams that are now functioning from home. So we've been able to migrate those functions back to a work from home environment. We are still able to investigate reports of closures or operational changes that I mentioned earlier, and we're able to feed that information to our customer-facing teams so that when our customers call in, we're able to give them up-to-date information as to which brands or sites are behaving any differently to the way they would normally, in the way that they would provide services to our customers. So we're still, I would say that I would characterise what we're doing as what we do normally. There's been no degradation of our service to our customers in that respect. One thing that the crisis so far has proven is that the fuel network is actually a very vital part of our infrastructure in the UK, both in supporting the ability for people to fuel locally and also to provide other goods and services locally to both businesses and consumers. And I think that perhaps stands the fuel network in good stead in the future. So I firmly believe that the network will come out stronger as a result of this crisis.